Thank you very much. Let me start by bringing you the details of an opinion poll we commissioned last week, a full poll by Ipsos Mori of 1,004 Londoners conducted over 5 days last week, in which we tried to find the views of Londoners about the key issues that we're discussing today. 94% of Londoners believe that everyone in Britain has a fundamental right to freedom of thought, conscience, speech and religion, as long as they do not stop others doing the same. 82% agree that everybody in London should be free to live their lives as they like, as long as they do not stop other people doing the same. 76% of Londoners also believe the government has no right to tell them how to live their lives, and 94% think the media has no right to do so either. Isn't it pleasant to find a group of people less trusted than the government, even if it is only the media? 86% are also opposed to religious leaders telling them how to live their lives. This does not surprise us. One of the reasons more young people will choose to come to this city in the next 12 months to become Londoners, to study as Londoners, or simply to visit as tourists, is that this city is perceived as a city in which you can be yourself, as long as you do not interfere with others. We do not consume ourselves, or have not until Jack Straw started, with the sort of debates that have disfigured French political life, with the ban on the hijab, which led not just, of course, to a ban on the hijab, but Sikh children being excluded from education in French schools because they would not remove their turbans. 81%, let me get it right, 92% believe it is right that Christian men and women should have the right to wear a visible crucifix. And what a massive rejection of the decision of British Airways to prevent one of their staff expressing their religious beliefs. This has no support amongst Londoners. They believe by 93% that Jewish men should have the right to wear a skull cap, and 85% of Londoners believe that Muslim women have the right to cover their head if that is what they choose to do. 81% of Londoners believe it's right that we, with public funding in support, should celebrate the diverse cultures of London through things like the Mela, St Patrick's Day, Diwali, Eid and Christmas and New Year's Eve. And I have to say, following my successful visit to Cuba, we've got the backing of the Cuban government for a massive festival to celebrate 50 years of justice in Cuba and resistance to American imperialism. I want to say to Jack Straw that a powerful man sitting in their constituency surgery, receiving people who are coming to ask for help with getting housing, help with an immigration or asylum problem, really are not in a position where they can ask the person who is a supplicant before them to do something and think that their position of power and authority will not influence and intimidate the person they ask. It is breathtaking that Jack Straw should have taken that position, and it's utterly contemptible that so much of the British media weighed in an orgy of Islamophobia on the back of that dreadfully misguided statement. Let's be absolutely clear. Muslims in Britain have not sought to live separate lives. They have fought to be included. They join us in our campaigns to break down the discrimination that they face in the allocation of housing and in the allocation of employment. In this city, we are disfigured by the fact that you are 2.5 times more likely to be out of work if you're a Muslim than if you're a non-Muslim. No Muslim is campaigning to be separate from work. No Muslim is campaigning to be excluded from the provision of housing. And the reason our polling figures, I suspect, show a more positive and progressive attitude than some other parts of Britain is because politicians and faith leaders and council leaders 2 decades ago went out and fought against racism. We fought, and that fight was disfigured by the media. If you go back and read the Daily Mail and the Daily Express and the Sun, they trivialised it, that Bernie Grant has banned black bin liners from Tottenham. Ken Livingstone has banned people from asking for black coffee in County Hall. Those struggles were never about black bin liners or black coffee. They were about saying to councils, the 32 councils in London, you will not discriminate in awarding housing to black and Asian Londoners. They were about saying you will not discriminate in employment. And if we've made some progress in this city, it's because we took those issues on and fought. There are far too many cities in other parts of this country